Hello, good evening, Dr. N. Rao. Welcome. Hello, good evening, Ashi. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Kalkesh Kumar Gupta. Am I audible to you?
Yes, yeah, audible. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Yes.
Sir, Malsport. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Maysport, are you there?
Professor Malsport is always there.
He will be around. Yes, yes.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Doing 10 minutes.
Yes, Kalpesh.
Yes, yes. Good evening.
Thanks for bringing me in front of Disability Star World.
So, sorry, I missed.
Thank you for bringing me in front of the Disability Study Star World.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sir, everybody knows who is what. Okay. I'm a small seat. Okay.
And actually, Kalpesh, one interesting thing I would like to put a record.
Yes, yes.
How sir is the one instrumental in the Disability Studies Center when he was in the Dean Research.
Okay, okay, good. That's how both of you are member. Sir.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Obviously. So,
Now,
looking
others
forward.
NLUs, they also started, like I can see 5, 6 NLUs law schools, they have started center. So it's a good,
As per my knowledge, 6 NLUs were having.
yeah. I listed, I was preparing PPT, my presentation. So I listed this,
It was,
center
it was,
for,
it was really a good PPT. Yeah, it was covered many things.
yeah,
Even for the first time, somebody referring about disability laws or disability related. It's really good, like a all-in-one guide. This, very crispy and it's covered many things.
it was very tough task for me. And I have written, I have read a lot of about disability last 6, 7 months. So, and then because of that lecture also, and then the case compilation that we are working on, handbook. So,
It's all everything happened directly, indirectly. You might have got some kind of inspiration from JNL
yes.
Center for Disability Studies. That is none other than Professor Miles.
Sorry. Okay.
So
Anyway.
we have to acknowledge Dr. Miles' contribution.
Sir, while sharing recording, you have to remove this, huh?
Yeah. She'll be starting. Sangeeta, madam, are you there? She'll be starting at 7 o'clock. Participants are joining. I'm just, again reminding participants.
See the punctuality, Rao sir has join always 10 minutes before.
Let me survive, sir. At least I thought of seeing you. I came back early.
Okay.
I thought of seeing you, I thought of talking with you.
Okay. Good, sir. I'm so much privileged. I am visible now to you, sir.
Yes, sir. You're visible, sir. I'm taking photos.
No, that's not. That's we are not doing. Anyway, and Kalpesh, sir, always focusing on the sustainable development and disabilities. That's he always. Second was given by Rao sir only, Kalpesh sir. Sustainability and disability.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I think. Nope, sir.
Okay, thank you. Rahul sir. Okay.
Mhm.
एक कल आई थी, कैसे कैसे लगाई?
Kalpesh sir, can we start?
Wait for 1 minute. People are joining.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I
after
think
1 minute, we'll start.
it's
1 minute.
sharp 7. Yes.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
evening.
Yes, we can start here. Over to you, madam.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm your moderator for the evening, and today is the last year of the capacity development program of the disability rates in India. And today we have with us Dr. A.N. Rao, who is an assistant professor in social work at GNLU, and he is also a member of the Department of the Center of Disability Studies at GNLU. Professor Rao has an extensive experience of research and teaching at GNLU. He has done his PhD from the prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, in the year 2012. He has several research articles, and he has been associated with several prestigious projects of national importance. And I take the pleasure to invite Dr. A.N. Rao to present his session today, which is on a very important aspect of disability studies, which is inclusivity. I strongly believe that without inclusivity, the entire concept of disability rights would be a failure, in fact. So, welcome, Dr. Rao.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to thank GNL Center for Disability Studies, Dr. Masport, and secondly, Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta, Pro Bono India, and law teachers. And thank you for giving this opportunity. And I also thank Dr. Sangeeta. Thank you, ma'am, for the nice introduction. And I'm very happy to see the wonderful workshop, the online capacity building program from last 10 days. And when it comes to the last day of the program, this is something from social science. So we already had good understanding about disability laws from the day one. But from my side, I'll try to cover building an inclusive future, the role of intersectionality in disability rights. So I'll try to connect with the disability rights point of view, at least in terms of practice, how we can support persons with disabilities when it comes to developing their future or in terms of bringing some kind of change in their life. So this is my topic. Coming to the content of the session, I don't discuss much about disability, but I'll try to introduce around 5 to 6, 7 minutes about what is disability. Many scholars talked about what is disability and of legislations. So I don't cover anything related to legislations or acts or supporting system. So I'll try to introduce what is disability and intersection. I'll touch upon the role of intersectionality in disability rights in India. Then I'll talk about empowering change through intersectional and integrated practices to build an inclusive future. And practical applications of intersectionality in integrated practice. So I'll take the help of 2 or 3 case studies. Depends on the availability of time. So we'll discuss about how we can apply the intersectionality in our integrated practice. Lastly, what are the challenges one can face while implementing intersectionality in integrated practice? So this is the outline of 4 to 5 topics. I'll try to cover it within a given period of time. Now, coming to the concept of disability. As you all know about disability from the day one, it is a universal human condition. It has been present throughout the history. It's not something new. And there's no guarantee that whatever you are today may not be the same tomorrow. So whether you're a person with disability, there is a without disability, there is a possibility that you may get disability, you may get some kind of limitations in your life as a part of life cycle from infancy stage to till death. It is a life cycle, right? Now, during the process of our life cycle, our human growth and development, we can able to see a lot of fluctuations, a lot of strengths, weaknesses from different dimensions. It can be psychological dimension, physiological dimensions, cognitive related, psychosocial related, As we are progressing, as we are growing, not only in terms of physically, you also need to see how we are growing mentally also. So if you want to understand different kind of disabilities, it can be form of physical, it can be sensory, it can be cognitive, it can be psychosocial, anything. It may affect anything at any time. So as you're progressing, we can see that what are our limitations, what are our strengths. Now, as for census 2011, we have various statistics. And there are different kind of census. Each census will give different kind of statistical figures. We don't know exactly how each government, each organization define the concept of disability. Still, there is a lack of clarity who is considered as a disability. I'm sure in previous sessions, many scholars might have discussed about legal definition of disability. Like if any person comes with not less than 40%, can be considered as a person with disability. Then we also have seen benchmark disabilities. But when it comes to the 2016, the Rights of PWA Act, we have 21 categories of persons with disabilities. Still, we are not, I think 2016, today we are in 2025. Even after 9 years, after 10 years of passing this particular legislation, still majority of at least as a faculty of social sciences, as a member of GNLU committee for persons with disabilities, still we don't know certain disabilities, how to recognize certain invisible disabilities that we have it. There is lack of awareness about which is considered as a disability, how to define them, how to categorize them, right? Now, there are certain practical limitations we have it. Despite we say that there are 21 types of persons with disabilities. Most of the education institutions, they don't have proper advisory system to recognize, yes, they are coming under special learning disability, they are coming under specific learning disability, they are coming under different type of invisible disabilities. Most of the people think that, yes, he is looking very good. Why is misusing the law? So just because lack of understanding, just because lack of supporting system, we always tend to judge the people. They are misutilizing the law, misutilizing the legislations. So that can be different topic. Later on, we can talk about it. Now, when you talk about the disability population, person with disabilities population at global level, we have 1.3 billion persons with disabilities. Out of the total population, we have 1.3 billion persons with disabilities in one or the other manner. It can be mild, it can be moderate. The nature and the severity of disability may be different, but we have nearly 1.3 billion people with disabilities in all over India, all over the world. And majority of them are living in developing countries or underdeveloped countries. If you talk about from the Indian context, we have 26.8 million persons with disabilities in India we have. So you can see that huge amount of population belongs to the category of persons with disabilities. Now, when you talk about the causes, there are different factors. You can talk about accidents, you can talk about environmental factors, you can talk about lifestyle disease, you can talk about age-related issues, you can talk about development-related problems, you can talk about cognitive impairments. There are different causes. You can able to see why people are becoming persons with disabilities. At the beginning, they are fine. Even at the age of 10, they are fine. At the age of 25, they are fine. But nobody knows what is going to happen next minute. So there are different causes what leads to a person with disabilities, right? So we're not going to discuss much about it. The next point is that how to understand the concept of disability. Now, there are different perspectives. As you all, many of you might be knowing the concept of like perspectives of disabilities. We have first one, medical model of disability. People consider other person as a disabled just because he or she is not able to walk, maybe because of certain diseases, certain problems. Medical model of disability defines the person because they're not able to take care of themselves. So as a receiver, as a person with disabilities, I have to depend on my service provider or the doctor or the caretaker. As a person with a disability, I don't have any voice. What is good for me? What is my choice? What is my like? The concept of disability defines on your condition, the kind of cultural practices that will follow it, the kind of environmental factors that will follow it. But here you are at the end of receiving support. You don't have any kind of voice. You don't have any kind of choice. You have to simply listen to your caretakers or your doctors or the people giving support to you. You are disabled just because you have certain lacking function. Whereas when it comes to the social model of disability, I'm a person with disability just because the system is not organized as per my requirement. It may be physical barriers, it may be social barriers. Social barriers means attitudinal issues. It can be economic related factors. It may be lack of resources, lack of representation, lack of accessibility. Name it any kind of problem, which is affecting my participation in society, which is affecting my participation in social activities, economic activities, cultural activities. I'm not a person with, I don't have disability, but the society is having certain barriers, which is hindering the way I'm going to function. It is affecting how I'm supposed to participate. I'm not able to compete with my peer group members just because lack of functioning, lack of proper friendly environment. So how you are going to define the concept of disability depends on perspective to perspective. We can see that. Next one, we also have human rights perspective. There are so many perspectives. Just for the sake of time, I just want to cover only three. Second one is human rights perspective. As you all know that UN Convention on the Rights of PWD, Rights of Persons with Disability in the year 2006, it ensured that every person should have access to basic resources. Every person should have full participation, whether it's cultural activities, social activities, economic. Every person should be recognized. We have to respect the diversity. Every person should have fundamental rights, basic rights, equal opportunity, equal access. So we have UN Convention. It was possibly one of the important treaty. It was in the 2006. Based on this particular UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, we have from the Indian context good number of legislations, landmark legislations like PWD Act 1995, and recently we have the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. If you look at our CPRD and RPD Act, both are reflecting the same. Whatever discussed about as a part of this UN Convention, based on that particular convention only, we have able to come up with the Rights of PWD Act 2016. So both are the same, and you can able to see that as compared with the 1995, in the 2016, we are able to expand, we are able to come up with broad categories of persons with disabilities. And we are able to expand the reservations in education level, employment level, and we are able to come up with a good number of social securities and accessibility related issues. We are able to cover. We have a good number of sections and provisions covering different aspects of persons with disabilities. Now, so far it is good, and disability, we understood there are different perspectives. Based on perspectives, as we are keep changing, moving from one perspective to another perspective, we're able to see drastic change, how it is affecting the lives of persons with disabilities. However, we also need to see what else we can do. There's nothing like end, right? As we are progressing, we can see drastic changes, time to time. There is a concept called intersectionality. There's a person from law background, is a by profession advocate, and Kimberly Crenshaw came with a concept called intersectionality, to understand the problems of Black women. The basic objective of this particular intersectionality is to help understand how a person suffering with multiple problems. As you all know that as a person with a disability, you are having limited functions. It may be walking, it may be seeing, it may be carrying your day-to-day activities. When you look at any perspective of disability, it talks about, maybe medical model talks about what you're lacking, what are your limited functions. When you talk about social model, it talks about how society is lacking certain things, how society is not organized properly. When you talk about human rights, it's talking about receiver and provider, service provider. But when it comes to talking about intersectionality, we also need to recognize it's not just about disability, right? For example, as a human being, I'm going to interact with various people. In the process of interaction, what is my gender? What is my economic background? What is my social background? What is my sexuality? what is my racial background, right? It's not just disability is not only going to affect. Along with the disability, there are so many other layers which is going to affect the way I'm going to interact, the way I'm going to get the support, the way I'm going to face discrimination, inequality, right? So one should not exclude the other important layers if you want to understand. Like, for example, we are talking about women with disability. She's not just women with disability. As a person with disability, women with disability is a double disadvantage. If she belongs to communities like ST community or SC community, you can call it as a triple disability, right? Now, every layer has one impact. Right? Secondly, you can see that the person coming with tribal background or ST background, the kind of life he or she is going to have is going to affect it. Or maybe it depends on the region they belongs to, depends on the sexuality, sexual orientation. We can able to see that how her disability is going to influence how they are going to access to resources, how they are going to function. Now, what I want to say that why intersectionality is very helpful for us to understand. We are all carrying different kind of identities. Now, as a faculty of social work, I'm a faculty, I'm working at NLUs, belongs to so-and-so economic background, so-and-so social background. So we are all carrying different identities. The intersectionality is going to help us to identify multiple identities. Now, if I'm talking about a person with visual impaired, his needs are different. Now, when you talk about the rights of PWA Act, what PWA Act providing to a person with visual impaired? But we are limiting with that. Okay, you're talking about rights of PWA Act connecting with person with visual impaired. But when I look at from intersectionality point of view, I also need to see whether I'm going to provide support only to person with disability, or I'm looking at other connections like, okay, I need to look at he's a person with visual impaired. He can't avail Right to Education Act because he's coming from low economic background. He's coming from remote areas, very far away place. So what kind of supporting system that you're going to provide? If I'm going to look at PWA Act, okay, they are eligible to get free education up to age of 18 years. But what about other areas like, okay, he's coming from rural area. They have access to education? Are there nearby support system is available? So I just need to see what kind of solution that I'm going to provide it. So we are going to look at interlocking operations. Means you're not only looking at as a person with visual impaired, you're also going to see person with disabilities along with that. What are the other problems, other layers we have? So we need to provide this support that should be holistic. It should cover other dimensions as well. Otherwise, whatever we have, legislations, acts, is not going to work if you're not able to consider other layers or other factors of the person with the disabilities point of view. Name it any disability, we should consider this particular person in terms of holistic understanding, in terms of social, in terms of economic, in terms of racial, right? So if you can able to consider, then only can able to come up with the right solution to the person. And based on their intersectionality, we can able to see different kind of experiences. If you take example, there are 3 persons with spinal cord related issues, person with visual impairment. Depends on their severity, depends on the background they are coming from, depends on the social background, economic background. We can able to see that the kind of experiences they're going to have. So there's no single template that can be applied to the, okay, you're dealing with visual impaired person, but we don't have single template which can be applied to all persons with visual impaired. So every person have different kind of requirements. You cannot deal with the same template to solve their problems. So we need to recognize there should be need-based assessment. Yes, we have Act for Person with Disability, but again, in order to implement it, in order to get the success of this particular legislation, we need to further look at it. What is the intersectionality concept? Then only can able to do justice, or you can able to provide right solution to the persons. It also focuses on marginalized focus, means as you are going to look at it from different layers point of view. how severely they affect it, right? And you can also see that how structural equations, what kind of inequality we can able to find it out. So if you're not able to understand intersectionality, the concept of intersectionality, you cannot eradicate, you cannot come up with structural changes. If you want to remove the inequality, just talking about poverty, reducing the poverty level is not sufficient. You need to see, are they having holistic development in terms of human development index? Are they have access to education? What is the life expectancy rate they have it? What is the literacy rate they have it? What is the purchasing power of the people they have it? So if you can able to calculate, if you can able to consider human development index, then you can able to see that yes, how we can able to provide the best solution to the people. So this is the concept of intersectionality. When I look at it, the existing legal framework and the concept of intersectionality, the existing legislations, they are basically focusing on equality, general, whether it belongs to you are a person with disabilities, but it doesn't matter whether it belongs to low economic background, high economic background. It only says that you are a person with disabilities, you qualified as per this particular concept of disability, as per the definition given by the law. So there are standardized provisions, policies, acts we have it. But other than that, if you can able to consider the concept of intersectionality, it won't consider the compound discrimination. It won't consider other important layers while providing support services. If you're not able to consider the concept of intersectionality, if you're going to provide same template to all the people, means the kind of legislation that they have it may not get the success, 100% success. It may be fulfilled 30%, 40%, but it may not be able to do justice. So if you can able to include the concept of intersectionality as a part of your practice, you can able to come up tailor-based solutions. Means there are two persons with disabilities. Each person requires different kind of interventions. It depends on the nature and the severity of the disability. We are going to come up with what kind of intervention that you're going to provide. You can able to come up with the right intervention if you're understanding the needs of the person. So it is a case to case. So when you can able to come up with case to case, if you have some kind of understanding about every candidate. Now somebody can question, is it possible to apply case to case? No, it is not possible, but how we can apply it? So we need to have some change makers. We need to have some community level, local level organizations where they can involve implementing these particular legislations, considering the concept of intersectionality. Now, how we can apply the concept of intersectionality as a part of integrated practice? First one is holistic approach. We are going to consider whole person and their unique intersecting identities. For example, if I'm dealing with women with disability, I can see a lot of difference whether the person belongs to black community, white community, or ST community, or general community. If I can able to consider that only, I can able to provide holistic understanding. I can able to see the difference. When you talk about the oppression point of view, we also need to recognize different kind of oppressions, not just because you're a disabled person, because of other layers as well. So as already covered about the tailor-based, there is one important aspect, cross-disciplinary collaboration. Now, it's not just that having awareness about law is sufficient. You also need to understand the psychosocial factors of the person with disabilities. Okay, you are saying that you are providing right to education, everything at free of cost. Why people are not able to send their children to school? Because as a parent, they don't want to send their children out of their city, out of their hometown. They're thinking that their children may affect more problems. They suffer more. So how we are going to convince the parents to send their children to out of the city, out of town? So how we are going to convince? It's not going to deal with only person with disability. We also need to see the surrounding environment. Like when you talk about social work, there is a concept called person in environment, environment in person. When I say person in environment, as a person with disability, my experiences depends on my micro level, like the kind of family that I have it, the kind of background that I'm coming from, the kind of peer group members I have interaction. It also includes the kind of groups that I have interactions, the kind of relatives that I have it, the kind of teachers that I have it. Not only group level, it also have macro level, the kind of legislations, the kind of cultural practices, the kind of external factors that is going to influence. Means micro level, meso level, macro level. If you cannot able to study all the levels, and if you don't have understanding about how to study each level, how they are connected, how there is, you can see there is clearly interdependence. Let me give a small example. Many of you are professors or academicians or research scholars. Your children might be waiting at home for you. Okay, time is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. My father is going to come. My mother is going to come. I have to spend some time with them. But when it comes to you, you're having some urgent, important project. You're not able to spend time with your son. And it's not one day, today. It is happening 1 week. It's going to affect the moods and mood swings of your son. It's not that you're not interested to play with your son or your daughter. You have your own commitment, something is out of the control. Means your project work is having some direct connection with your, indirect connection with your son and his mood swings as well. So personal involvement, I'm living here, but my experience depends on the other layers. Micro level, it can be micro level, it can be meso level, it can be macro level. So you have to understand the persons with disabilities problem. We need to have, it can be interdisciplinary. You need to understand psychological problems, social problems, emotional problems. You also need to understand different layers at micro, meso, macro level. So that kind of knowledge, knowledge is required for the person to understand. It's not just government of Gujarat, government of Kerala, government of Andhra Pradesh implementing legislation. People are not availing it. It's not about that. So there should be cross collaboration. When I talk about cross collaboration, it's not just about micro, meso, macro. It's also there should be collaboration with the different departments like health department, education department, legal department, social work department, NGOs. So depends on the context. There should be collaboration should be required so that they can able to contribute, we can able to come up with right solutions. We can't expect government will be there every setup, every place, right? Government has its own limitations. So require more and more local community members, group level, community level, regional level organizations who can implement, who can take it to the next level. There is also requirement of structural advocacy. So as I mentioned it, same template, same solution cannot be provided to all the person with visual impaired, all the person with orthopedic impairment. Certain changes are required, certain systematic, it may be gradually, it can be drastically, certain changes are required so that we can able to come up with the right solutions and you can implement it and people get the success out of it. How to implement it? There are a few important factors. Case management. Now, when it comes to the implementing any particular act, like for example, right to education, public distribution system, food security act, name it any scheme, integrated child development scheme. Government has own machinery, functioning bodies, they have their own institutions. Apart from that, if you're going to implement in concept of intersectionality as a part of integrated practice, we require some people who will take every individual person as a separate case. They have to study the case. They have to have case profile. And once they have case profile, who is the person belongs to, which category he belongs to, what their family members, what no support they have it, internal support, external support. Based on that, one can able to come up with plan of action. One can able to come up with plan of action to support the person with disabilities, right? So required case management. Case management is one of the important practice we can implement as a part of integrated practice. Second one, community-based. Once we study the individual profile at the time of planning, you can also see what kind of group level, community level, regional level, state level resources we can support, we can bring it in order to support this particular community, this particular group, this particular person. So we also need to encourage community-based programs in order to implement these particular policies, in order to implement these particular legislations, so that it can reach more number of people. Practically, it can be successful. You can able to get the more success out of it. Legal and policy advocacy. Now, most of the time, the problem is that I don't know how to avail my services. Lack of awareness. Lack of, as you can see that, as I mentioned, that majority of the persons with disabilities are living in developing countries, are staying in rural areas. Even despite having higher education, despite living in urban areas, many persons with disabilities, they're not able to come out of their place. They have a lot of stigma is attached with it. And it's all about how society is treating them, how society is giving exposure to them. When I say society, I can also include as a part of the family, how as a parent, what kind of exposure I'm giving to my children. As a parent, if I'm not willing to acknowledge that my son is having disability, if I don't want to disclose my children's disabilities with my neighbors, how I'm going to give the exposure to them? Where they will get the exposure, right? If within a family, if you're not restricting your son or daughter to, explore what they like, how they would like to be, then you can see that a lot of impact on how they are going to be there, what kind of lifestyle they're going to have, what kind of stigma they're going to have it. So, right. So in that case, what kind of systematic changes that you're going to bring by advocating with the help of policy and social advocacy by using these particular interventions. And we also need to see how we are going to tackle the problems of people by using various strategies, by using group work, community work, social action, or social research. If you're not able to use any of the methods, you may not be able to come up with any kind of right interventions. So these are some of the problems you can see. Now, I just want to have some case studies. Like, for example, first one is inclusive education, the story of Arushi. So there is a candidate, Arushi, 12 years old girl from Delhi, and she affected with a cerebral palsy. Despite having limitations in terms of physical limitations, but when it comes to her dreams, she's very live, she's very excited that she wants to compete with her target group member, her peer group members. She wants to become a teacher. But if you look at her condition, nobody is ready to accept her in the school level. There are no schools ready to admit her in schools. And most of the schools saying that we don't have trained teachers to enroll you, to admit you in our school. So most of the schools neglected, most of the schools saying that by saying one or the other reason, they're not accepting her to enroll in the school situation. Now, their parents tried their best to explore different schools all over the Delhi place. Now, her disability is one problem, cerebral palsy is another problem. In addition to the cerebral palsy, if you talk about intersectionality point of view, being a woman, being a girl, she's facing a lot of discrimination. It's not from the family side. Most of the relatives, most of the family members says that, why are you sending her to school? We don't know how people are going to react, what they're going to do that. Just ensure that she's going to get married as early as possible. Okay. And just send it to her some work she learn, and she can go to some houses as a maid. Means they are thinking that we can't send her to school. We can't send her to higher education. And we don't know what society is going to treat, how each one is going to react. And moreover, coming from low economic background, every relatives, every neighbor saying that, suggesting that, why don't you send your daughter to learn something which she can work as a servant, domestic maid. They're not thinking that she has same kind of dreams, same kind of interest, how other peer group members have it. So even as a parent, they have to face, they can't say to the relatives, don't say like that. They have to listen, they have to understand. They have to, sometimes they have to accept it, right? Because they have to be part of the society. Now, families struggling because they're coming from low economic background. So always say that woman is considered as a burden to the family. Being a girl child, you always treat it as a burden. And even if I'm going to give you the education by putting a lot of effort, after some years, you're going to get married, you're going to leave the place. So right now I can train you to work in domestic houses as a maid. So You can see that this kind of situation depends on the family, depends on the economic conditions, social conditions. These kind of things are happening with persons with disabilities. Now, it's not just about right to education, cerebral palsy. It's not about schools are not enrolling. It's also about how gender playing an important role. It's all about how economic conditions playing an important role. How as a family is treating the women so that also plays an important role, the experience of the person with disabilities. Now, when I apply the concept of intersectionality or integrated practice, now there are a group of NGOs. There are a group of NGOs that are coming with inclusive education. Even Government of India, there are a good number of schools started after 1995, at least from the year 2000 onwards. Good number of started talking about inclusive education. I'm not saying that all the schools, at least there are some schools that are able to experiment inclusive education, and they're able to see that what kind of curriculum they're offering it, what kind of pedagogy they have it, how to train, how to reach each and every student. I'm sure some of you might be knowing there is an organization in Mumbai. Name of the organization is Adopt, ADEPT, All Disabled, All People Together. Initially, it was known as Spastic Society of India. It was launched by Dr. Mittu Allur. Let me give a brief background about Dr. Mittu Allur. She was coming from good economic background, politically sound, economically sound. She got married, and she was having close connections with our former Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi. So she got married, and she got the child with multiple disabilities. So coming from good economic background, having political backup, she tried her best to give the best education in Mumbai city. Unfortunately, not only in Mumbai, throughout India, she couldn't find any school. I'm talking about in the year 1984, 1980s. She couldn't find good school which they can enroll her children with multiple disabilities. So what she did, she went to UK. She did her special education. She did MA. She did her PhD work, and she trained herself as a special teacher. And she came back to India. She started Spastic Society of India. Today, you can see all over India we have nearly, if I'm not wrong, more than plus 12 branches we have it. I fortunate to visit this particular Adopt in Mumbai city. So I just went for see the kind of school they have it. Now they're training, they're providing education, not only children with any type of disabilities, they're also conducting various training programs. Even Rehabilitation Council of India later on recognized that what kind of curriculum can be offered, what kind of special education can be provided. So thanks to Dr. Mittu Allur and people like Dr. Mittu Allur and various other NGOs and special education teachers, they're able to collaborate together. And today, this Arushi, she got education in special inclusive education. She was happy to see the school, the environment, where it consists of a lot of ramps, a lot of supporting systems, sign language interpreters. And it's not that she's the only person with a disability there. She was able to see that there are so many other members with a different needs, with special needs. So she got a lot of confidence. Yes, I'm not alone. There are so many people like me, and there are more people more severe than me. And she was happy, and with the support of accessible classrooms like RAMs, special tools, with the support of teachers, because as she wanted to become a teacher, she shared her dreams with the teachers, and teachers started giving some kind of small works in terms of assisting the teachers to prepare the classroom notes, classroom materials. So she got a lot of mentally strong support, how she can fulfill her dreams. And you can also see that a lot of community building, because she's not alone as a person with disability. She's mingling with her peer group members who are persons without disabilities. She's mingling with person with severe disabilities, right? So she can able to see that there are a group of people, but we have aspirations. We can able to fulfill our aspirations. She is able to build her relationships, right? Now we can able to see the kind of empowerment one can able to decide. So we need to empower the people. It's not just about what legislation we have it, how we are taking this particular legislation to the needy person, the particular candidate. So what all required? in order to implement this particular legislation successfully. This is the most important aspect. So from exclusion, from isolation to inclusion and empowerment, we can able to reach with the help of inclusive practices. If you can understand the different intersectionality or different kind of layers a person will face or having it. Next one, we have one more case study before going to question answers. Accessible employment opportunities. There's a person named Raju from Bangalore. He's having spinal muscular atrophy. So he's a very good candidate. He qualified very well. He got good education. Stopper in school, college. But when he's applying for the jobs, every time he's getting the rejections. Despite having a lot of talent, despite being a smart candidate, right? So now we can able to see that he himself he started doubting himself. The kind of marks I got it, the kind of talent I'm having it. Nothing is giving me a chance to get the job. It's not that he's not trying jobs. Every time he's trying job, but most of the time he's getting rejections. Because every person is looking at, okay, he's a person with disability, and we don't have this kind of supporting system. Now, I'm sure as a faculty member, as a commission, those are settled right now. You also need to accept that despite you have talented, of course, obviously you're all talented. And you also need to see that time also plays an important role, right? If you compare with your peer group members when you're doing your PhD, as soon as you complete your PhD, some of you might have got it. Some of you might have got the job before completing your PhD. But imagine that you might have seen your friends, your colleagues. They have completed PhD, but they didn't get the job. They're waiting, they're applying it. If that person is coming from good economic background, if their family is able to take care of the expenses, it goes well. But even after completing PhD, after completing your studies, post-graduation studies, and if you're coming from low economic background, if you're coming from rural areas, right, and you have a lot of expenses to take care of your own needs, you have to spend a lot of money to take care of your own disability-related needs. So how it is going to affect, how severe it is going to be without job, even after spending a lot of investment on your job or your studies, right? So he was seriously affected, and he was thinking, I don't think I'll get the job. But again, there are social enterprises. There are a couple of good civil society organizations. They're able to recognize the candidate. They called for jobs, and they wanted to hire only persons with disabilities. There are so many organizations we have like this. Let's take, for example, in Bangalore, we have an organization called Enable India. Enable India is to train persons with disabilities as per the requirement of companies. Enable India have collaborations with more than 650 companies. They don't ask the companies, give job for my person with disability. They'll say that we have qualified candidates who will fulfill your work, who can do your work at the easiest manner. Means we have trained the people after studying your work profile. So we have qualified candidates. And if you're going to lose this candidate, you are going to lose. See the way you're going to negotiate. Instead of asking to show the sympathy, you are demanding that I have trained people, I have qualified people, and this is your choice whether you want to go for them or not. That is completely different narrative, right? This is completely different perspective. And we have one more social enterprise, that is Miracle Courier, thanks to Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta. He conducted very extensive research. Miracle Courier is a social enterprise. He's providing employment opportunities for persons with hearing impaired persons. If you look at persons with hearing impaired candidates, most of the schools, most of the universities, colleges, they don't have sign language interpreters. We don't learn sign language, right? Most of the time. And thanks to advancement of technology, advancement of innovation, recently from last 5 years, I'm seeing a lot of innovations, a lot of assistive devices. These days, I'm not saying that they don't have any problems, but the assistive devices, they are playing major role in their life. They're able to complement the needs of a person with hearing impairment. But I'm talking about Miracle Courier around 10 years back. and he was started hiring person with hearing impaired candidate. They're looking at their skill set. He looked at it as a person with hearing impairment. They can't talk, but they have good mapping skills. So similarly, in Bangalore, there was a social enterprise which recognized the talent skill set of the Raju. He is good at data analysis, data interpretation, data science. So they recognized the talent of the Raju and they hired him. And today you can able to see that he settled his life and he was doing wonderful work. And more, he was got good amount of recognition from his peer group members, good amount of rewards, awards for his contribution. So it's all about what you are looking at it, the candidate point of view. That is more important aspect. If you see person with disabilities, if you look at the only disability point of view, you may lose some very important potential candidates. But if you look at the talent, if you can able to accommodate, if you can able to facilitate, definitely you can bring drastic changes in their life and to your organization as well. So from limited opportunities to career success, we can able to see that how one can think of inclusive practices as a part of our organization, connecting with the the concept of intersectionality, like providing accessible workplace, providing skill-based hiring, assistive technology. We can able to bring drastic changes in terms of lives of person with disabilities. If a person with disabilities is independent, we can able to see drastic changes in terms of the way they actively participate, the way they're going to be independent. They'll actively take part in not only in economic activities, social activities, cultural activities, political activities as well. So if you want to have holistic development, if you have to have development from all the sections of the community, we also need to see the concept of intersectionality and how inclusive we are going to be. That is the most important aspect. So we have last 10-15 minutes. If there are any questions, please let me know so that I think let me have one more. Instead of going one more case study, what are the challenges that we may face? I'm very happy to talk about the concept of intersectionality, but how we are going to apply, what are the problems, what are the limitations of the intersectionality concept. You are dealing with multiple problems. I'm not only talking about disability, I'm talking about, okay, you're a person with disability, belongs to low economic background, social background, or rural area, whatever may be there. So I'm trying to address problem that is complicated one, but this complicated problem is very specific. I should come up with very specific intervention, specific solution to the particular person. So that is very tough. I mean, very tough in sense. We need to have that kind of system where we can see that how we can address this kind of problems. Resistance to change. We have legislations, we have ministries, we have a lot of institutional mechanism to implement the policies, like ministries, how they're allocating the budget, what kind of policies, what kind of schemes, what kind of program they're coming up. But we also need to see how we are implementing it. There should be some change the way you're reaching your needy people, right? But most of the institutions, at the institutional level, you can see a lot of resistance to come to that level. So we can see in terms of limitations from government side, from private sector side, we have some kind of limitations. But it can able to overcome that resistance. It can able to bring change the way institutions are functioning. Definitely, it can be a good solution that we can provide it. Resource constraints, yes, resource always plays an important role. But if you can able to connect with the local bodies, local communities at maybe a district level, taluk level, regional level, definitely you can able to overcome the resources. You can overcome the limited resources. Cultural sensitivity. If you want to address the problems of a person with disabilities or problems of any person, we also need to respect the diversity. We also need to see cultural background. If you're not having understanding about cultural sensitivity, you can't provide your solution. You should not have mindset that I'm the service provider. You should receive it if you like it. That kind of mindset should not be there. We should be able to recognize the diversity. You should be able to understand cultural sensitivity point of view. Then only can able to reach best manner. So this is all about from my side. if there are any questions. Otherwise, I can go for one more case study as well. Let me see if there are any questions. Session is open for question answers. If anybody would like to add anything, that will be more fruitful as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Rao, for great insight. Yes, participant, any question, query, please raise your hand.
Advocate Dr. Ruby. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yes, Ruby madam, over to you. Want to say something? Yes. Yes, Ruby madam.
Good evening, sir. Dr.
Good
Rao,
evening.
sir. Good evening. Hats off to you. Highly
Thank you, ma'am.
commendable deliberations. Highly commendable.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's
Thank
not
you so
that
much.
easy. Whatever you have said, no, sir, it is not that easy road to do all these things.
Yeah. It will take time, but I think maybe you need to
Not
have
many
more.
hurdles come up, and we have to suffer a lot to get something for someone. No?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I
Definitely.
know we are doing that work, so we see that how difficult it is. So, and right on 29th of June, we gave, 200 cards, ID cards and UDI cards, for Aadhaar card for these people,
Yes, madam.
disabilities. They were not getting it. They were, they were simply harassed, like, every time they used to call, come tomorrow, afternoon, morning, evening, but they never gave them.
Yes, yeah. A lot
So
of
we took
limitations, madam.
we took a strong decision, and we invited those concerned authorities, and we requested them to come to our office, please. We will arrange here everything for you, and please help us in getting this. And they
Great,
did
madam.
it.
Great. Very good, ma'am. Actually, that is.
They did it. See, we are doing everything for these people, for giving back to the society. Whatever we have gained, we can do it. No,
Definitely.
they got
Only thing
everything.
is, it will take time, and everybody should be able to recognize that
Yes, sir.
at local level what we can do.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. Thanks a
I
lot.
feel
Madam.
like, when you were telling about that female and this boy who is talented, actually, I was in tears only. And you feel so sorry for them, na, that they can't do it, but nobody is supporting. No?
Support. That's
We
true.
should support such people. No?
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. That is important. Very important.
We can educate them, we can make them understand, we will provide them everything what they want. But our other society people also should support, na? They
So
don't.
that, and it is not one day.
They
It's
should
not
support.
one day or one state, no one region. It has to be come from every place, every place.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yes,
Professor.
yes. Any other participants, please raise your hand. Yes, Sumit Kumar, are you there? Sumit. Or any other participant who had not spoken yet? Yes, Nalini ma'am is there. So,
Yes,
madam,
sir.
you had
Kalpesh
said
sir,
something.
lots of blessings to you also, because you are the person who has arranged all this. Otherwise, see, we will never come together. Now, how we'll come together? How I'll meet Dr. Rao, and how Dr. Rao will talk to me? No, all resource persons. Thank you so much, sir. God bless each and every one.
Ma'am, I just want to say thanks to Dr. Kalpesh, as well as there is one more
Yes,
very
sir.
important person. Very important person we have,
Lots of blessings.
Professor Professor Marisport. He is the head of GNL Center for Disability Studies.
And
If you look
whole
at his
team,
profile, the
organizing
last
team
5
also.
years,
No, sir.
he's not
Whole,
just doing research
whole
like
team
me.
is
Like
blessed.
he's not doing research like any other academician, just for the sake of AP score. He is doing really wonderful work, ma'am, in terms of banking. What kind of solutions we can come. So he's really very good and change maker. I can say that he's a academician, but he's a really good change maker in terms of bringing some kind of solutions to the person with disabilities. So thank you, Dr. Mas.
Hello.
Yes, yeah, Dr. Sanjay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Chandrasekhar, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Ram sir,
It
for
is
your
a,
questions.
yeah, please. It's nice to listen, sir. Disability loss, and my dad worked as a guard in blind schools,
Okay,
and
sir.
maybe in 1990 there is so much of the government is planning and they're giving educating, they're giving a job and social status is going. But
Okay.
nowadays, what happened? I'm seeing that the government is not interested in anything. So, what is the reason for that? Because what happened, maybe the previously what happened, maybe the sympathy is there, or they wanted to give some a chance to the these disabled people. They are giving every opportunity. But nowadays, the maybe the awareness is not there, or the government is not taking initiation. So what is the reason for that? Because
If
they
you
have
ask me,
highly talented people.
sir, if you ask me what
Dr.
is
Amrish.
happening, it
Yes, sir.
we
Yes,
also
sir.
need to recognize the limitations of the government. It's not that, of course, sometimes ideology of the government also plays an important role. Focus of the government also plays an important role. But you also need to see, other than government, what as a team we are doing, what as a group we are doing, what as a community we are doing. Why only government? So I think that should also come. I can see one person, professor here. I don't know whether if madam is don't mind it. Professor Nalini Juneja ma'am here. I'm seeing her last 15 years, at least 15 to maybe
Yes,
nearly
madam is here.
15. Yeah,
Madam is here, yes.
I saw madam. She was
Okay.
here, and I'm following her work from last 15 years. The kind of amount of work she has done. She's an academician, just like you and me.
Yeah, can you
But-
hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Just one more minute. One more word, madam.
No.
One more.
It's always such a pleasure to hear you, and I'm really, every time so
No, no, no.
new.
It is other
And
way,
this
madam. It is
entire
other way, madam.
program,
Please.
not
Always-
at all. This entire program was just opening my eyes to so many things. I think we were really disabled, really. One should not use the word, but we were handicapping ourselves by, not going into this area. In fact, I was quite scared because I felt there is so much to learn. But I think this program has really helped me, and your sessions, especially, even in the previous entrepreneurship program and all that. Every time you come up with something new, and of course, Dr. Mari Sport, I don't know how much I appreciate him. Uh, you know, it's just amazing. And this Dr. Sachin, his lectures, this program has been such a wonderful experience for me, really. I don't know, what to say other than this. I didn't even have any questions to ask because I was, you must know something to be able to ask more questions. But I have to get into this area a little more. Thank you, Nagesh.
Whatever you say, ma'am, is always other way for me. You are the one from where I learned it, where I got more inspiration. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am, Nalini ma'am, and thanks, Rao sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta.
Yeah, I'm just a event manager. So I
No.
think people come.
You are the person.
Oh.
You are able to reach more people.
Okay.
Okay. You are the person.
Many times I keep telling, not all the time ideas come from my side, right? I think I implement, and many times, like we did Posh Act and this one also, it's not my idea. But again, great thing happens, and this will be great. Actually, we planned for 1 week only. Then we deliberated, make it more extensive. I would say this is one of the extensive program in detail. It's not like we're talking on RPW Act, that's it. We started from introduction part and then your session, like, how great interaction, that integration, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, Sumit Kumar.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So this very short question, I had sent Kalpesh sir a research paper about constitutional recognition of the persons with disabilities. So on the 5th day when of this program, we were told that there is hardly any provisions in the constitution one provision is actually sandwiched, and there is one which talks about disabled in the DPSP. So, what are your views about the constitutional recognition of the disabled in India?
Is it a question to me, or I think you're
Yes,
asking?
question to maybe I don't know, it's constitutional part if you are comfortable. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with this,
yeah,
but definitely, our
Okay, if
colleagues,
you
member
both allow,
colleagues can take it.
I can
yeah,
take.
Dr. Marisport, you can want to say something.
Yeah. Actually, it is a good question to ask Sumit Kumar sir. If you look at it, Professor Sanjay Jain, okay, he used to advocate for direct provisions in the constitution. Even some of the disability scholars, people who are having disability, they want um, express provisions. Even Article 15 and 16, you can directly mention. Why you are giving it indirectly, right? So that's a long debate. In fact, in my session also, I highlighted little bit. I thought somebody will touch. Actually, if you look at it, removal of judges, their disability comes. So in a way, it's a negative connotation only they have highlighted. But positively, there is a concept called speaking constitutions. At least many faculties who are having experience than me very well aware of speaking constitutions. So some of the authors, they took those speaking constitution aspects, they interpret 15, 16, even 21 and other things. Even if you look at Justice Chandrachud's judgments, they invoke Article 21 and equality also. So that's it. But unlike women and children, we haven't got direct provisions under Part 3. That's a long debate. Of course, different opinions. But if you ask my view, why can't we have? Because if we get it Part 3, in fact, I'm telling you, political representation, disability don't have. But beauty of the Part 3 is there, women and children. If you look at it, women, you have reservations, some special. But what about the disabilities? Right? So it's a debatable issue. Thanks for asking this question, Sumit sir. Hope
So there is
I
a
actually
great research paper shared on the group by Kalpesh sir, which I initially, so there are many constitutions have been covered, which
yeah.
recognizes persons with disability.
Yes. There are direct constitutions. They recognize that. In fact, one interesting thing, if you note it down, in our constitutional debate, there is no discussion about disabilities, which I come to know. Right? We can check it out. And if you ask freedom fight whether disabilities have participated or not, yes, there were some examples. Persons with disabilities, even totally blind, also participated in the freedom struggle. Okay, one of the disability activist father or grandfather participated in a movement. Okay, so that kind of thing, but why they have not included in the Constitutional Assembly or debate? That's a interesting question. Yes, Sumit sir.
Sir, may I say a little thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See, my only experience is during the making of the Right to Education Act. There, we were discussing disabilities, but there again, there are so many different types of disabilities, etc., etc. So, though there was extensive debate on the group, we refrained from mentioning it specifically because if you mention one or two or three, anything that you don't mention will be treated as deliberately excluded. So sometimes, I mean, I'm just making a guess that maybe even in the constitution at that time, they probably did the same. leaving it for early, later laws, etc., to take off from a larger, more general point. I don't know whether I'm adding to it or, speaking off the point. But thank you.
Could be. Again, ma'am, if you look at scholarly debate, some scholars may consider us it's a ableistic notion.
Hmm.
It's a ableistic notion.
Yeah. Okay.
Because their question is that had they never faced any disabilities in their life, they might have faced it. They might
Yeah.
have seen it.
Hmm.
Then why they haven't incorporated? So these are all unending debate.
No, that's true. And you had brought out in your lecture so much about this ableist notion, etc. Even I was, very, I became conscious of this myself.
Yes, ma'am. Because even when this debate spark, I was an initial scholar. That time I had the notion like which you have. Then I got immediate counter argument, which I didn't have the answer. So that's where, ma'am, it's interesting to have that notion. Why we don't? Then at least if you see some concession by amendment or something they have incorporated, right?
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, some constitution even recognize LGBT also along with disability. Can't we have at least disability? So that's a interesting thing, ma'am, because once you have constitutional direct recognition, we may demand for at least political reservation. In fact, that might give a long way edge for the disabilities. This is my view. Again, over to you, Rao sir and Kalpe sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Rao, for great session, I would say, and then perfect ending, I would say, because we have to integrate. And then case study that you discussed, it's really needed because we cannot work in isolation. We are focusing on, one thing and then, missing on another thing. It's very, very difficult. So we have to put like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, like it's maybe applicable for some person may need 5 kind of, assistance at various point of time, right? You rightly stated. So let us, oral feedback from participant. It will take maybe 10 minutes. So please raise your hand, participant. I request who have not spoken in last 10 days. They can speak. Any feedback, anything, would like to say something? Please raise your hand. We will take only 10 minutes. I request participant, please introduce yourself and then say something you want to say. Yeah, Dr. Girish Kumar. Yes, Dr. Girish Kumar.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yeah, Dr. Girish Kumar. Yes.
Okay. Myself, Dr. Girish Kumar, working in Central University of Kerala, Department of Law. I'm very much interested in the rights of differently abled because of the reason that I have done my PhD studies in mental health laws in India and way back in the year 2012. So I was working in Delhi University for 10 years. So there also I had just interacted with the equal opportunity cell, which was so active in Delhi University. But in many institutions, still what we feel is making public facilities accessible to people with disabilities is still not happening. And the legislation, Person with Disabilities Act, the recent legislations also are not considered to be that punitive for institutions, be it private or public institutions, who do not provide access facilities for access, easy access to persons with disabilities are not penalized properly because of the light nature of the legislation. This may be one reason for the non-accessibility still in existence. Then there are a large section of people titled multiple persons with multiple disabilities. So such people are largely neglected in the reservation also, reservation in education as well as employment. Only a limited few, like a few people who are likely disabled only can come forward. So what about the severe disabilities and what about persons with mental disabilities? Mental disabilities in the sense that incurable mental health condition. We largely neglect such people and such the rehabilitation centers are often becoming dumping houses. So this is a burning issue in the country. Academics like all of us who are expressing concerns over the rights of persons with disabilities to take it into account. My view is that it is not the domain of people with disabilities only to raise voice for them. It is the other people, we can say the so-called able people also should be raising voice against the injustice happening towards people with disabilities. And I appreciate the organizers of the program, mainly Kalpesh Kumar, is very much active in academics. We interact frequently in the legal academia group, and I appreciate his efforts in organizing students for many ventures in different areas connected with human rights and law. And I just thank the presenter of today that has dealt with the problems of intersectionality in disability issues in a very much befitting manner. Hope such programs happen in future also. Not only we are confined to academic forums, we should work for people in the street also. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Girish Kumar, for your remarks and kind words. Yes,
Good evening,
Mubassarin.
everyone. Yes,
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
Mubassarin from Aligarh Muslim University, sent to Malappuram, that is in Kerala. And this session was very much enlightening for me, and I have been actively participating all of the sessions. I'm very thankful and grateful to all the organizers and the resource persons as well. And this has enlightened me to a perspective of the society which I wasn't even like very much sensitive or very much aware of. And I'm very thankful to all of the persons here, those contributed to enlighten me on this. Thank you once again.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for your kind words. Yes, Dr. Rita.
Oh.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Rita Bansal, in charge principal of DTSS College of Law, Mumbai. Sir, the capacity building program on disability laws was indeed immensely enriching. It actually deepened our understanding of the rights of, the Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 that we speak about, and even about the UNCRPD. So, while also it equipped us with the tools to promote inclusivity in legal education. This is what I found it indeed very interesting. And as far as the academic discourse is concerned, I know the case law analysis indeed greatly benefited me as well as my colleagues who had joined this session, and this will definitely help us in keeping the students engaged in a way, the way it was explained in these sessions. I really thank you very much, the organizers, and also, sir, that entire 10 days sessions were very, very informative and knowledgeable. Thank you once again, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind words. Yes, any other?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Once
ma'am. Yes,
again, once again, I'm here. God
yes,
bless you all. Highly commendable resource persons and deliberations. Very, very nice, sir. Because this is giving full insight to each and everyone. I am registered, but all my students are here to listen to you. And I am worried about future generation that they should learn all these things and help the society. They are becoming lawyers, but they should also take interest in legal aid where they can do free services. What we say that you do your internship, learn everything, and then 10% at least you donate it to the society. Help the society. Daily, sir, I am having 50 clients, and out of 50, 35 I register, help them free of cost daily. This is all my work.
yes, ma'am.
Daily
So,
35 clients are helped free of cost. All free lawyers. I'm having 150 lawyers with me, and they all help us without taking a single rupee from the clients.
thank you.
All matters,
Yes,
all matters. Whether
yes,
it is domestic violence or land or whatever is there. There are so many cases like this. Case
yes.
laws are
So,
there.
let me
Thank
tell
you
you, all
very
the
much, sir.
participant, madam is constantly attending almost all the programs, and she is a 76-year old or young, I would say, ma'am. So,
Young,
so you can say
evergreen,
so.
evergreen.
Some participant must be knowing who are attended earlier program also. So you can see the enthusiasm at the age of 76. So thank you very much, ma'am, for your enthusiasm and attending all the
Thank you,
program.
sir. God
Thank you, ma'am.
bless.
Yes, sir. Any other last comment? We have a couple of minutes.
Hello, hello, sir. Kalpesh,
Yes,
sir. Hello,
Preeti.
this is
Yes,
Preeti.
yes,
So
yes,
I've
yes.
been attending your programs off lately, and this is, I guess, this is my fifth or sixth capacity building program from your forum. So before joining this session or before joining this CBP, my orientation towards the disability laws were absolutely, or you may say that I might not be knowing that much about it. But yes, it has given me several nuances to ponder upon and to, discuss the disability law with a very, very different perspective. So so I would be saying that I was benefited a lot, and hats off to you, Kalpesh, that you have been arranging so good, so fantastic speakers and the resource persons to deliberate on the same. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Preeti. So I can see, like, I started, because so many programs and participants are there from all over the India, and I know your name, you're actively
Right, sir.
participating, and then religiously, I would say. Thank you very much.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Marisport, over to you for your final remarks. And Dr. Sangeeta, madam, you want to say something? You were saying that you did PhD on disability laws. You would like to share your experience, anything while doing study?
Yes, Kalpesh sir. I mean, it has been a truly wonderful, learning session for me as well, because what I felt is that things have not changed much. It is very unfortunate, but it is a fact that things have not changed much. When I submitted my PhD thesis way back in 2008, okay, so a very, very long time ago. So when I submitted my thesis, I had put forth suggestions like this only, which was a topic of discussion today, that the rights of the disabled should be incorporated as a fundamental right under Part 3 of the Constitution. But till now, see, this is 2025, and till now I'm discussing the same thing. I'm getting to hear the same thing again and again, talking about the rights of the person with disabilities, the nomenclature to be used, that also is there. So I believe that we have not moved much ahead despite coming into being of the RPWD Act. And a lot more needs to be done. And Ruby ma'am is already doing a lot. Professor Mary Sport and Professor Rao, they are of course there, who are doing a lot of things. And how can I forget you, who is, I feel, the torch bearer of continuous legal education in India. Thank you so much for arranging such wonderful programs where
Thank you.
we
Thank you so
get
much.
an opportunity to share our views and we get to learn so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind words and support. Yes, Dr. Marisport, over to you for your final remarks, and then
Yeah.
we'll close.
Yes. Thank you,
You can
Kalpesh.
open your video also if you are in
No,
good condition.
actually,
Yeah,
I am
okay. Okay, no
okay.
problem. Yeah, over to you for last remarks.
Thank you. Actually, I thank Rao sir for guiding us to have this venture. In fact, as we discussed in the inauguration time, we had a long discussion for organizing this. Anyway, somehow, Kalpesh sir actually, through his real life experience in the disability venture, so he actually get into that, and thanks for that move. In fact, Kalpesh sir has done one thing very interesting here: the diverse audience. It's not like that students. We have a very young professor and very energetic professor, and then we have PhD scholars and then students. In fact, since we have the academicians, and these academicians are the one getting into the grassroots. So premier law students are teaching premier law students one angle only, but getting into the grassroots on inculcating these aspects into the day-to-day syllabus. That's actually been the primary aim of our FDP. Here, I felt that after looking at the participants and the enthusiastic participation, um, I feel satisfaction that yes, we have achieved that goal, because these things cannot be in the form of circulating some pamphlet or other things. At least make it stand and involve. Otherwise, we cannot do. Right? Especially even legal aid also. How many legal aid centers are focused on disability related legal aid? In fact, legal aid for getting ration card or getting Aadhaar card for abled. In fact, ma'am told she has facilitated getting Aadhaar card for these persons with disabilities. That's where we have to venture it. Why can't we have a special legal aid? You need to organize in your legal aid clinic. You can tie up with any NGO who is dealing with disabilities and talk to them which kind of governmental schemes are as. But then in your legal aid purview, you can ensure that or not. Forget about that. Even providing awareness. Rao sir highlighted, even Hitesh sir discussed about that accessibility project, right? So here, if you tell, get that is opening account is your right. Bank cannot deny. That itself is a big aid you are giving, right? Similarly, getting UDID card. If you're helping somebody to fill the UDID card, that itself is a great help. Then if there are different schemes for them, if you're guiding them, okay, go to this scheme. If somebody wants for scholarship or somebody wants for, let us say, some travel concession, right? At least as a, because there are some legal aid clinics as a part of their they actually included this scheme related aspects. So why can't they get into that disability related schemes also and give some kind of guidance, right? So this is my request to all participants. So let us carry forward this particular aspect, how we expand the legal aid to persons with disabilities. Please remember, approach not easy. And in fact, we had a discussion, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, Hitesh sir and Rao sir may also come in. So we had a discussion. Please make it, yeah, Sachin sir also discussed. Yeah, we can make this program accessible. But my question is, should we make this program accessible? What about other programs? Is it disabilities are only restricted to this disability related discourse? What about other program? So in that case, we are excluding them. This is my view, Kalpesh sir. So if you wish, you make all of your program accessible with sign interpreter. That would be wonderful way of carrying that a kind of movement with you, right? Even others also, I'm just telling, please take that way. So why we, if we are saying that, okay, this is, yes, we should have sign interpretation. Yes, there are various disabilities come. Why we should have? Even some other air and space law event or some other knowledge FDP also, person like me attend, right? Why can't we think of accessibility there? So if we ourselves restricted, then we move forward. This is what I would like to highlight from my final remark. Rao sir, if you wish to add something here, over to you.
There's a disconnected internet issue. So thank you very much, Dr. Mary Sport, Dr. N. Rao, all the participants for great deliberation. And I hope, so again, wherever you are as a teacher, professional, student also, so spread this uh, different kind of the legal and the social economical rights, different kind of rights are available, and help try your best wherever things are possible, right? Definitely it will take a lot of, it has been taking a lot of time. Laws are there, right? Old law, new law, and maybe tomorrow something will come up on different law. The idea is to have do our best related to particular field, and then obviously on disability rights, a lot of things are there. So try to give your best and then do something wherever you are. At least we can help people around us, right? Wherever whatever resources we have or assistance we can give. So thank you very much, and look forward to see you in future program. Thank you very much, all. Thank you.
Thank you to all. Okay, have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you.